everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Sailor Moon QPosket line, and we're going to see how they've changed over the years, and more importantly, if this particular item is right for you to collect. Let's get started. So today I have with me the QPoskets, and each of these QPoskets are from a different time, obviously. And we're going to look at the first one all the way up to the newest one that is out. And we're going to see how they've changed and if they're right for you to buy or not. So one of the first things that I'm going to show you is we're going to look at the Sailor Moon QPosket. And it was one of the first ones that came out. And I'm going to get real close there so you can kind of take a real good look. Now, as you can see with this one, the base is yellow. And we have her odangos, and that are quite large for her. And more importantly, the one thing that you're going to notice is she does have a, like a stand almost to hold her up a little bit better. Now, these QPoskets were very cute, but it is very weighty. So if you were looking at this and you weren't sure about it, or you really didn't like how they were kind of looking with the huge hair and everything else, I mean, her odangos are massive on this figure, as you can see. If you were curious about this one, I don't blame you. This one was a little bit of a stretch for me, and eventually I did cave on it. Now, after that one came out, we had and there were other iterations, Princess and everything else, of course. But the next one that we had, and this was one where we had a lot of really big changes in this, was the Super Sailor Moon one. Now, as you can see, this one, they changed the hair, added a lot more detail in it, and more importantly, she doesn't need that stand anymore, and her base is white. So we had a little bit more detail in this one, and I really like how they sized her head a little bit better. The details on her are a little bit nicer. We have some things that have changed for the better, and then we have some things that really didn't change for the better, in my opinion, and I'll get to that in a moment. Now, finally, and you're going to notice a big change with this one as well, is we have the Eternal one. Now, again, we have the same white base. The dangos are a little bit bigger, but you notice her body's gotten a lot slimmer. So we still don't have that stand on the back of her again, but we have again more details. So I'm going to kind of go through each one, and we're going to bring up each one so you can kind of see the differences in comparison a lot more closely. So the one thing that you're going to notice, again, as I talked about it, was those dangos. And they have changed in how they look. They've changed in size. So I'm going to bring these up. And it's kind of difficult to hold these guys. So, but as you can see, they've all changed. Those dangos really have changed in size. Now, they've gotten bigger. They were big, and then they got smaller, and then they got more detailed. So I'll get in just a little bit closer with just the dangos themselves. Now, the one thing I don't like that they changed was in this version, the dangos are almost like a clear, like resin with like a red shine to it. And I really enjoyed that. And then they went to a more metallic color for that. And you'll see there really isn't a whole lot. It's hard to see, but there really isn't a whole lot of detail. And then we kept with that metal kind of paint, but they got far more detailed in the hair, which was actually quite nice. Unfortunately, I really wish they would have kept the resin-like clear color to it, but, you know, also had the detail in it. So if we could have gotten a blend of the first and the third, I think it would have been amazing. But unfortunately, you know, things change. Now, the next thing you're going to notice is her face, and I'm going to bring each one up individually so you can kind of see. So in this one, we have that typical QPosket, like childlike face. And then as we get up there, she starts to make that change. And you can see that in her face, especially her eyes. You can really see it. And then in this one, you really get a really good look at her face, and you can see those changes. And just to kind of give a stark difference, I'm going to put the first and the newest one up there to kind of show there is quite a difference in the face. Now, in addition to the face, we can also see the body has changed. Now, in height, it's changed, and it's also changed in how it looks ultimately. So again, I'm going to bring up how she has almost this appropriate 14-year-old styled body. And I know the legs are coming off very yellow. They are not that yellow. It is just the light shining through to make those legs really yellow. And then in this one, her legs, they get longer. They get a little bit slimmer. And then in the final iteration, they are far more slimmer. The appendages are a lot thinner. She looks a lot older than what she is, which is kind of nice that you get that progression in her age, because as you know, in the manga and animes, she does progress in age. So you are going to get that difference. Now I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to try to at least bring them up one more time so you can kind of see the difference between them all at the same time to kind of get this look of all three of them. It's very difficult, I apologize, to see, these legs like that and the bodies. But you can kind of see how she's changed in height, because notice they're all like staggered, and yet they appear to be almost the same height. And that's because they kind of aged her a bit, which I actually do really like about it. Now, finally, we're going to get into the details of the actual figure itself. In the original figure here, the details on her are a little bit lost. There aren't a whole lot of fine details in her outfit there. And admittingly, there wasn't really a lot of detail to work with. As she, changes, you get more detail in her costume. As you can see, we have a little bit more detail in this one, especially notably in like her hair and everything. But in the final figure that we have here, we can even see the details in the wings and everything else. So we get that real nice detail in the figures. Now, are these figures, right for you? That is a really difficult question. I mean, depending on the variation you like. I mean, they had the regular ones. If that was your favorite season, they had all of them in Super. If that was your favorite season, and if Eternal, like me, is your favorite season, they are coming out with all of these. So far, you can pick up the original Scouts, as well as Eternal Moon, Eternal Chibi Moon, and Tuxedo Mask. You can pick him up as well. So they do have those right now, and then there will be the outers coming out in the near future. So if you're looking on places to get those, I will put links down below on where you can find some of these. The older figures, obviously, you're going to have to do a little bit more digging, and you're going to want to be very, very careful. Now, a lot of the boxes that you're going to find, if you are looking for an official version, they're going to have that Ben Presto logo in the corner. So do keep in mind. Also keep in mind is each one has an A and a B. Now I'm going to try and get that in the shot there, and you can see there is a difference between A and B. And in this one, more prominently than in the others, you have the difference because their arms change poses. So depending on how you would want to display them or how you have them will change, which one you want to get, obviously. I got both of the Eternal ones, but I only got the Tuxedo Mask that actually holds his hand out to hers so that I could display those as a group and then the rest of them as a different group much later on. So do keep that in mind. Most of them have like the outreached hand and then the hand in. So that's going to be your differentiating thing. But for this line in particular, this one is actually, and I'll show you the front of the box so that you can kind of see everything on there. So if you don't see that kind of stuff on there, it is not official. More importantly, there's a little sticker on the front there. That's the Toei sticker. And you're going to want to be on the lookout for that, because without that Toei sticker, it's not official. But anyways, this one is B. This one is the B version. The A version has her with her arm reached out, and you'll be able to tell the boxes quite clearly, because the B version seem to have a white background, whereas the A version seem to have a background appropriate to the character that they are. Obviously, like pink for, Chibi Moon, green for Jupiter, etc. So if you're looking for a specific one, just look for those colored boxes, and that's a really good telltale of which one is which. Again, the white ones seem to have the closer appendages, whereas the A's seem to all have their arms outreached or up or something like that. The average price for these is going to be around $25 to $30, so be prepared to pay about that. I have seen them sparsely cheaper, but you're going to have to pay more in shipping as a result. So it's going to kind of balance out. I would highly suggest, if you're looking for something like, if you're using a, third-party service like from Japan or something like that, and you're looking for these figures, my suggestion to you would be find as many as you can, and then find them for, a cheap price. Usually 2,000 yen is about, roughly $15, $16. So if you find it for about that, that's great. You're getting all ready for a bargain. And if you can get them all shipped together, you're going to save money. So bundles do save when you're buying overseas. Now, you're not really going to save much, if you buy them individually, but like I said, if you're looking for a deal, get yourself on bundles overseas. That's where you're going to find the most bang for your buck. Otherwise, these are the QPoskets that have just come out for Sailor Moon Cosmos, and hopefully you've enjoyed them, and hopefully I've answered some questions for you about these guys. They are a great addition to any collection. I do enjoy them. I do like the stands that they have for them. They're very lovely. They have a nice detail on them, as opposed to the originals where it was just plain colored stand. If that's mainly all I've really got to say about these guys. I think personally they're worth it, but that's really up to you to decide. If this video has helped you, please give it a thumbs up down below. Comment down below if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It lets you know when I have videos. Along with that little bell, it'll send you an alert every time I post a video. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Stay safe out there, and as always, be good to each other. I'll see you again real soon. Bye!